Welcome back, everybody. We're going into issue number 2 of today's arc of Masks. And at the closing of the last issue, you had apprehended these police officers with the strange glowing eyes and the weird chanting. And the cover of this issue, the cover of issue 2 of My Brother's Keeper, is Scion, like big, clear, bold, right in the middle of the cover. You know, the big fluttering cape and everything. But he has this like look of rage on his face, and his eyes are like glowing green, and he has both hands out, and he's like firing energy beams, and we can see around him there's like fire and people like panicking, and he's wreaking bloody havoc in the streets of Halcyon City. And when we open on the first page,
cheer for that. We have to stop him.
We get to fight Scion.
On the first page, everybody loves a superhero versus superhero fight.
Yeah.
On the first page, we see a room, and it looks like it's darkly lit. You know, maybe like a single bulb. The walls are plastered with pictures and newspaper clippings and printouts of Scion. Right. All these different things of like Scion, you know, at press releases and candid photos of him at events. There's even one of him at like the mayor's inaugural dinner or whatever. And we get this view of this room, this kind of creepy Scion shrine. And then we pan down to a more like literal shrine. It's a stone block carved in like ancient, obviously like Middle Eastern designs. It's all faded. It looks like it was stolen from a museum. And on the surface, there are 3 objects. There's a single perfect curl of blonde hair, like a lock of blonde hair. There is a framed photograph. It looks like a little like older. It looks like it was taken like in a Sears portrait studio or something in the 90s. It's of a young black man in a military like uniform, like a cadet's uniform. And he has this look in his face, like he's very, like he's proud. Like he's trying to keep in that he's like so happy to be having his photo taken. So it's like sort of proud looking photo of this young man. And then there's a mask. It's like a wooden mask, shaped kind of like a strange bird. It's got a long beak, kind of a fringe of feathers. And it's got like just the faintest hint in its sort of creases of like old green paint, like pigment of some kind. And we see this image in the first few panels, and then someone who we can't see their face, we just see a shape, picks up the mask, and we see it being placed onto someone's face. Again, it's all shadowy, so we can't see it. And then the eyes of the mask, we get close of the mask, the eyes start to glow. And whoever it is that's wearing this mask, we can see them in the room, and they're chanting in that same like scratchy language. And in the last panel, we can see the lock of hair has like turned green and started to sort of shrivel up. So the next on the next page, what happens? What's the next thing that happens for all of you? You know, obviously the police and the emergency crew will show up. All of that will go down. Do you leave the neighborhood? Do you go back to Hemlock's house? Do you try to lay low? What does everybody do following the chaos of the previous scene? Where are you?
So they're detained, but have we finished with the like? I want to know like what I want to get a closer look of these cops who were sort of like just messed up. I want to know how quickly that wears off. I want to see what their reactions are. Do they look visibly like?
Yeah. So what I think, this is one of these things where if it was in a comic, like, you know, we'd all be writing the comics, so we'd have this information. So imagine that off screen between issues, you know, the characters investigated the situation. So you were around the cops,
So
and
the afterthoughts then.
Yeah, and the effects of the stuff like didn't actually wear off. They just like continued on. You weren't able to talk to them. But in the comic, we wouldn't have showed that. It would have been like, this is later where you're like, what was that all about? And you all had that experience together. So you can ask me those questions, but the characters are like somewhere else later.
Were we portrayed as helping, or were we portrayed as hurting because they were police officers?
Did you fuck off before the other cops showed up? Or because you don't know yet. If you stayed, this scene is going to be you talking to like police. But if you left, you know, you got to leave it up to public opinion based on what Lex was doing.
Yeah, I'm still like.
I kind of feel like we would have stayed because they shot me.
Really?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Or either that, or if we run.
there
Well,
were
listen, if
witnesses,
we
too.
run, we can control the message. Where like we can disappear and not be caught in the midst of it, and all that's left is the footage of these cops shooting me, and then we're not held liable for anything, right? Like we leave, other cops show up. There's a video of those cops shooting me, and we just let justice take its own. We don't have to be justice right now because they shot an innocent girl.
Okay.
It
So
would have to be
I
only
say
you that's there.
we should probably be in your place then, Hemlock.
We would have run back into the elevator. Like we just would have.
I don't think we should leave though. I mean, guilty people run. We're not.
Yeah,
guilty.
but if we stay, I have to explain.
That sounds
Why
like something
I'm
a
not-
cop would say.
But
Yeah, but I have to explain why I didn't get hurt shooting.
Yeah, you got shot. You got shot by
No,
people out of costume.
We can totally. It's fine.
I got
Hemlock,
shot.
really.
Out of costume. I
Yeah,
got
but
shot as me.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Hemlock, we got like we can say that one of our powers saved you. It actually spins really well for us if we do it this way.
Yeah, but then my mom knows that you guys are all.
I mean, we've got rules for this, right? Like Petra, you are trying to provoke a specific response from Hemlock, right? You're trying to use your influence to be like,
Yeah,
do as I say here.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
I think we should stay. I like her idea for that, but I want her to understand that it's okay that she got shot and that her mom discovers that, because we can just play it off like it's
Pretty. I mean, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious to provoke. Yeah, you're putting this in this position, but that's okay. You can do that.
do we have like a comm system so they can hear me from the room?
Probably not. You probably constantly tell them like you got to wear the earpiece, and they're like, no, I don't.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'm
uncomfortable.
I guess I just
Before we do anything else, so I want to see how Hemlock and Petra's situation goes here. So, Petra, you are provoking a reaction from Hemlock. You're provoking a certain behavior. What do you want?
I don't have influence over her, by the way.
Yeah. What do you want Hemlock to do here?
I want Hemlock to not run from her mom when like.
So
oh
what you're saying, you're
fine kind of thing.
I'm hearing you saying, Hemlock, if you stay, we'll just tell them it was me protecting you with my powers, and you're not a superhero, and we can protect your identity. That's what you're trying to convince her to do. Okay. All right. And you don't have influence over her?
I do not.
Okay. Hemlock, do you have influence over Petra?
She
No.
does.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yes.
You do?
All
Okay.
of the-
So
yeah, the entire
If
team
you
does.
want to, after this roll, you can give Petra a -2 on the roll, or you can give her a +1 if you want her to succeed. But you have influence over her, so you can affect how she how effective she is at this. But first things first, Petra, let's have you roll.
Am I allowed to like do anything to help in this situation? I don't know if any of the rules like work.
Yeah,
that way.
Only influence allows you to help. So if
Riley
you have
has influence over
Yeah,
me.
so Riley, same thing. You can give her a -1, a
I
-2,
have
or a
influence over
+1.
both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so can I just like side with Petra, and does that help her with her role?
It will, but you don't have to spend your influence until after she rolls. So if she needs that +1, you can give it to her.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So let's see how that goes. Now I'm gonna check you're insecure and you're angry, but you're not feeling guilty. So
Oh,
you're good
that's
to go.
another question I was going to ask though. When I
Yes.
decided to smash things that were important in that fight, which was all the walls around everything, instead of breaking up the ground, should that remove angry?
I
Because I'm
don't.
breaking something
You
in-
weren't doing it out of anger, and I don't really think the walls of a coffee shop are important in the way that the move demands.
Mm.
Right? Like the mug was important, but
Right.
these walls are just collateral damage.
Oh, okay.
So you're
I'm
still
really
you're still
confused,
feeling
and I
angry
didn't
and
think, like,
insecure.
I wasn't really being foolish, was I?
No, you're pretty in control. So you're still feeling angry and insecure. But the thing is, after this, like when you have some time, and that's what these sort of interstitials are for, Hemlock or anybody, Lex or Riley, can like comfort you to help you get rid of your conditions. You can all help each other, and we'll have a little like, you know, you're elsewhere out of danger scene. But I want to see first if you stick around. So go ahead and roll your superior. See if you can influence Hemlock.
Oh, and my superior is not very
You're
good.
not very superior. This usually works the other way
No.
around. Okay. All right. So the only way to turn this into a success is if 2 people use influence to help you, and that's a lot.
So Lex and Riley both have to do it.
Yeah.
So I kind of
Everybody
is
has
it
to
something that
gang
we
up
can
on you.
act out,
So, well,
or-
that's my question. So I guess here's the thing. Like Lex and Riley, do you want to use your influence, like take advantage of your influence, which means surrendering it, like getting rid of it completely, to give +2+1s to Petra? Or are you going to let Petra tell Hemlock what to do, and then Hemlock can just be like, no?
I want to well, I kind of want Petra to try and convince me. Like, I want to text Petra something and then see what she says in response. And then that'll decide if I use it.
Okay, so you're staying out of this one for right now?
Well,
I mean, 'cause
so-
we Hemlock can leave, right? Like I'm staying. Like she's not deciding for the group what we're doing, right? Okay. So we're just trying to decide whether or not Hemlock is going to stay
We're trying to
with
convince her
us.
to stay, yeah.
Okay, so
but
Hemlock,
she kind of has to be there for this plan, right?
No.
so
Isn't
so
that-
Hemlock, Petra, mark a potential because you failed another roll. But Hemlock, you can do whatever you want. Petra wants you to do this, but
Is Riley gonna roll influence also?
she's not the boss of you.
To try
Riley's influence alone wouldn't make this a success. So
Right.
Oh,
Will you-
gotcha. So she can't roll on her own.
I mean, she could try a different tack, but Petra in this moment, Petra is like, listen, this is the plan, and you can. What do you say? How do you respond? What do you do when
No.
Petra says that? Yeah, you just go, no, that's too
No.
dangerous.
It's not. There's too much risk for us like staying around because A, like we're right outside where I live, and then B, if I stay, then I have to identify as the person that got shot, and there's a potential that people may recognize me because I was all over those newspapers before when we were with Scion. So there's a potential that
So do you leave?
yeah, unless Riley's gonna try to stop me.
Okay, so you walk past Petra. You're like, no, this is
Yeah.
crazy, and you
Nope.
just like push past Petra. And
Yep.
Riley, you're standing there, right between. Where are you going, Hemlock? Back into your house?
Yeah, I'm walking
Right.
over towards
So
Clyde.
Riley, you're between Hemlock and the front door. What do you want to do?
And when Hemlock walks by Petra and just basically says no and dismisses what she said, she feels even more insecure. So she's just kind of like feeling a bit she's feeling a bit small inside of herself. Just kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to like lash out, you can always use your influence to be like, well, you're barely a superhero at all, and like change Hemlock's stats, right? Like if you want to throw a fit, you're well within your rights
God.
to do so. You have influence over her, right? Or no, you don't.
No, I don't.
Oh my God, you're so pathetic. You don't have influence over anybody. Oh, that's so sad for Petra.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yes,
So
it's
you have
over.
nothing. You
Way
have nothing to
make
do
her
here.
feel
Hemlock's
even
just like,
more
I'm out.
insecure.
Oh, that sucks. I like that. I like that moment where yes, you can like tear
There's
the
no
wall off a
power.
building, but you have no real power over your
Okay.
feelings.
Where's the power?
Well, so she walks past Petra, and Hemlock is like kind of walking toward me, but she's gonna walk like past me or whatever. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't stop her, but I'm just like, as she's walking past me, I'm just like, you're gonna have to stop running sometime. And like, I'm gonna let her go, but like, you gotta stop running sometime because
So I think you're
you're letting us down right now.
yeah, you're telling Hemlock how the world works, right? You're like, this is how it works. You're gonna have to stop running.
Well, we're like a crew, and she's just bailing out on us when we're like, we need you here, and she's just like, whatever.
Hemlock.
So,
I'm not
Uh,
bailing.
you
I
are
have to-
bailing. You're running
What am
away.
I gonna do? What am
It
I
sounds
gonna
like
do?
here's the thing. So
you gotta
Hemlock,
trust us.
it sounds like you're rejecting what Riley is saying, right? Like Riley's like, you got to stop running.
I
and
mean,
you're like,
that
"I'm not running."
hurts.
It's not
Say
like
like I
that.
have to stop running because she thinks I'm abandoning the group, and I'm
Well,
not.
let's have you roll. Let's have you roll to try to be like, no, I have my own feelings and thoughts about stuff. Shut up.
Okay, what do I roll?
Do you have influence over Riley?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna roll to reject influence. It should just be on your sheet. The flat 2d6.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If it asks you for a bonus, you get a +1 because you have influence over it. Okay. All right. So on a 7-9, you got to choose one of these. You can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove her wrong. You can shift one label up and one label down, your choice. Or you can cancel Riley's influence and take a +1 forward against Riley the next time you have to roll.
Well, I don't have any conditions.
Okay, so you can mark potential, but if you do, you have to prove her wrong. You're like, no, I could run forever, or I'm not running, or whatever. Like, prove it. Or you can change your character around, so bump up a label and bump one down, or you can just be like, you don't know me, and Riley loses her influence over you.
I'm gonna convince her.
Okay, how? What do you do immediately to prove to Riley that this is that she's wrong, that you can't, it's not running, or that sometimes you should leave instead of sticking around?
It's basically just, I'm not trying to run from the group. I'm trying to make sure that me as my personality and my mom, and we're right outside where I live. Like, there's a lot of risk. That's not just me trying to prove that I'm a superhero. Like, there's a time and a place to do it, and risking this right now when we've shown that there's something wrong with them because they shot an innocent girl. Now's not the time to dispel that. People are already mad at superheroes. You think they're going to care that they shot a superhero that they thought was coming after them? They're not. Like, that's just going to hurt us.
So is this like a some of us have other people we need to think about, stop only thinking about yourself kind of thing?
Like some of us
have a mom, Riley.
I mean, not in a, I mean, some of us have family.
Riley.
I mean, yeah.
Whatever, I get it.
We have family, but like Clyde is my family and my mom is drunk family.
Yeah, that's okay. I thought I was your family, but fine.
We are. I'm trying. Oh my God. I'm trying to protect everyone.
So this stuff. This is how the game is supposed to work. That feeling of like teenagers who can't get along. We're doing it right. You're good. It's not a problem.
I know.
So powerless. Now everybody's fighting. This is making the whole situation worse. I was trying to make it better.
Yeah. You know what you could do, Petra?
Now the two besties who are like inseparable are like fucking going at each other like chihuahuas.
The thing is, Petra, like, maybe this isn't a person problem. Maybe this is a human problem. Maybe they're all just being far too human. They just don't understand you. You're up here and they're down here, not making any goddamn sense.
They just need to not. They need to not be human.
You broke my mug, Riley.
So Lex, while your three friends are having teenage street drama,
I'm contributing to it. I'm frantically group messaging all of them. I'm texting them saying, this doesn't look good. I'm trying to splice together the clip so it looks good for us, because I want to manipulate the nation and hack the world. But here's what we got. We have Petra flying. Well, no. We have Riley flying in and attacking a cop car. Then we have Petra coming in and like ripping off the walls of these small town business owners because Starbucks isn't a corporation, whatever. And then, only then do we have Hemlock getting shot as she approaches the police officers and walks directly towards them. So I'm trying my goddamn best to splice together this so it looks good for us, but it's really hard when there's already a wall there for me to like make these events happen out of order. I can't go from like, oh, there's a wall here, now there's no wall. Like, where did this wall even come from? Did the cops do it? So we gotta go. You guys gotta get out of there.
I love like that's so good, and like all of that passion, because it's Lex is funneled into you just like frantically angrily typing at them.
Exactly.
Like,
this is all through text.
Like,
You're like texting.
Yeah, this is all text.
Our phones are just like blink, blink.
Petra, you're like hovering your phone in front of your face, and it's just like boop, 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 like just messages, like angry.
Are you even there?
Petra's probably the only one who can't get away from Lex. Like, the other two can probably put down their phones, but because like Petra is so tied to Lex because they're in a team, when Lex is like thinking and typing like, Petra, what are you doing? Petra, stop this. Petra can't stop and the sound coming into her head. Like, she's hearing it telepathically. That's how she gets those text messages, right? So it's just, you can't turn that off.
Yeah.
So it's just even more frustrating. So you know what? Petra leaves. Fuck it.
You just fly off.
I fly off.
Awesome.
It was you were the one who wanted to stay, and now you're just gonna fly. I can't fly.
All right, no, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, you get this string of angry text messages, and then we see Petra.
Riley and Hemlock angrily just sitting in an elevator together, like not talking.
I'm not getting in the elevator.
Yeah, so everybody splits, right? Because so we see Petra like crouch down, and you get that like brief kind of like things like vibrating on the floor, and then you just rocket off into space. You just disappear. Hemlock, you push past Riley into the building. Riley, where do you go? Do you just leave? You get on your motorcycle and drive off?
No, I go sit on the cop car. I'm staying here.
Okay. All right. So you go and just sit down on the upside down cop car.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm not running. You guys can run away from your lives all you want, but I'm staying here.
Okay, I'm doing my best to support Riley with whatever I have. So I'm sending her like some of the clips, like Hemlock being shot, but not the part where she doesn't take damage. I add some fake static, like, oh, that's where the feed cuts off,
Okay.
I'm just like
All right.
sending her phone maybe some clips she can show the cops.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you're comforting or supporting her, right? So let's have you roll for that. When you comfort or support someone, you're gonna roll plus mundane. Do you have any influence over Riley?
I have one. No, I have none.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you're not Riley's love or
Lover.
rival. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's a really good question. Riley,
Mm-hmm.
do you wanna change your love?
I mean, I'm kind of mad at everything right now. So I don't know what I would change it to is the thing.
You could just blank it for now. You can just be like,
Yeah,
nope.
I'm gonna blanket. I'm mad at Hemlock now because she ran away.
All right.
I'll leave my rival as actually. I'm gonna because I agreed with Petra, so I'm gonna move Hemlock to my rival and then just leave the love light because I'm pissed.
Not only are you like, no, yeah, you move her from love to rival.
Rude.
Yeah.
It's okay. You still have Scion.
That's awesome.
After she broke my mug.
All right.
Oh my god, it's just a mug.
So now you're gonna get a
broke my
+1.
heart.
You're gonna get a +1 ongoing to any action that frustrates Hemlock, and then whenever you want, you can choose a new love. And these don't have to be PCs; these can be NPCs too. So,
Oh, okay.
so that's a thing.
Love Clyde.
Yeah, totally. Like, no, he's the only decent person around here. All right, let's see, Lex, if you can support Riley. So you're gonna roll plus mundane.
Yeah, let's go.
Nice.
I have a good roll. It's okay.
All right. So when you comfort or support someone on a hit, they hear you. So you can, Riley, you can mark potential. So just get an experience. You can clear a condition if you have one. You can shift labels, however you like. If you want to shift your labels around, one up, one down. Or and then in addition, on a 10+, you can add a team to the pool. So the pool will get another point. Or Lex can clear a condition, but Lex doesn't have any. So the pool goes up by 1. What do you want to do? Do you want to mark potential or shift your labels?
Also, along with the video clips I'm sending to support her, I also send my little pixelated emoji where I'm just going thumbs up.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, Riley? You want to mark a point of potential, or do you want to shift your labels?
Oh, I thought that was her doing that. Okay. I'm going to shift my labels.
Okay. So what's going up and what's going down?
Up, 1 down. I'm gonna do superior up 1.
Okay.
So I'm at 0, or I'm at 1 now. Because that's provoking someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then let's see, what do I move down?
Yeah, and this is a result of Lex backing you up. So your superior going up might represent you being like, well, at least Lex agrees with me. Like the smartest person I know thinks I'm right and is trying to help me out.
Yeah.
It's your idea of yourself kind of elevates as a result.
And
fair, I don't think she's right.
No, but she probably.
But I translated as So what would freak be going? What if I put freak down 1? What is that like?
You're getting in touch with your humanity. You're taking a step back from your So for you, the higher your freak is, probably the more you feel like a genetically modified super soldier and less like a person.
Mm.
And the lower your freak, the more you're like, I can put aside my past as being, my past. I'm a person. I'm like it kind of is about you more as a person and less as a superhero.
I don't think so, because I'm kind of rejecting her idea of having this other life that you have to protect, she's very aware of the fact that she has both, and I'm just whatever, this is my life, so
yeah, the flip of that would be bringing your mundane down again,
okay.
which means you're no, I'm Riley Rampage, I'm not just some nobody.
Right. Okay.
Right,
So
cool.
I'll take that down. Cool.
All right, so your mundane goes down. Cool. All right, so Lex sends you a bunch of information about what how she's trying to spin the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Lex, what's your plan here? And I guess this is what'll happen, right? We won't get necessarily the conversation with the cops or anything. We'll cut to another thing, but basically the two of you, between Riley's interview with the cops, we'll make a roll and we'll see how that goes. But Lex, what's the plan? What are you trying to help Riley?
See, this is what happens when Petra runs away. Then I have to do the public speaking. It's not going to go well.
I like try and type up a script, but I get distracted by memes again. So it's just like
the cops come up and Riley's like, let me just say cheeseburger.
Can I make the decision to like go up to the elevator and like see Lex helping her and get like guilt tripped? Because like what she said, like it hurt, right? She was like, we are supposed to be your family, and that burns, right? So can I like stomp up and get like mad and then put my superhero costume back on?
No, see, you're gonna get interrupted because as soon as you get inside, it's mom time, and your mom sees you come in, right, and looks at your like shredded outfit. Actually, I guess you have a shield, so she doesn't see that, but she sees that you've like been outside. Your hair is probably all messed up, and she, instead of immediately jumping to the like, I saw you, she's like, what were you doing outside? What's going on? What was that noise? And like she just gets in your face and starts like momming you really hard.
Can I just
yeah, you know Lex is in there, you know Riley's outside, the cops are gonna show up, and then your mom is just like on you. How do you respond? What do you do?
I cry.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I would just cry because it's if I was a teenage girl, that's what I would do, right? Because your mom's hounding you, your friend's mad at you, you don't know what side to do. You would just probably cry. And because any teenage girl knows the best way to make your mom not mad at you anymore is to cry.
All right, you're provoking your mom. You're provoking your mom with your tears.
Yeah. So I would probably cry.
Yeah. Okay.
And I can't use that as an excuse to be like, I just need a minute and then like
so this is the thing. This is what the roll is for. So you're gonna provoke your mom to be like, oh honey, you need your space, and like go be with your friends. Mom will take care of it.
Yeah.
But if you fail, that probably won't happen. So go ahead and roll +2 superior. You're rolling against an NPC. So okay, 7 and 9. Your mom has to choose one. She has to overreact, which gives you influence over her. She has to make a mistake, giving you a critical opportunity, or she has to stumble, which gives you a +1 for it the next time you have to roll. I think she's going to overreact.
Okay.
So you get what you want, but like you have to waste some time first because she like takes you into the kitchen and like makes you food or something like really bad because she's not like heats you up like a microwave dinner or something and just tries to like do mom stuff.
Makes tea or something. Yeah.
And won't let you leave. On your character sheet, add that you have influence over your mom.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. So now you can affect you can inflict conditions on your mom.
Okay.
This is how kids make their parents angry or guilty or whatever. So you have influence over your mom, but you do have to you get tangled up in her overreaction. So she babies you for
but I do eventually get to make it back downstairs. My point is that I don't want Riley to be stuck down there by herself the entire time. Like even if it's a fumble through the interview, I want to come back in like a little bit through as like, hey, when I finally get down, like, hey, sorry, I was trying to help clean up this other mess that no one was paying attention to show her that I'm on her side, even if I disagree with her. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to eat the Hot Pockets and drink the watery tea. And your mom, like she talks about it. She basically a lot of the time she grumbles about how hard it is to be a single parent in Halcyon City when everything's going crazy and your daughter never listens to you. But this time her grumbling is more about how hard it is for you two to it's the world against you now, and she's brought you into her grumble bubble. Yeah, you can't escape, and so you'll be able to get away. But for now, Riley, you have to deal with the cops. So what happens is that
wait, can I help first?
Yeah, I mean you're providing backup and support.
Yeah, but I don't know how I want to splice stuff together, so I want to assess the situation.
Sure. Yeah. Based on the feed, that's something you can do before the cop show up. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. Roll plus superior. Okay. You can ask me one question.
Well, I can ask two, but
do you get an extra one for assess?
Criminal mind.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So for the basic one, I'm gonna ask. Well, yeah, I guess what here can I use to help Riley interact with the cops and defend ourselves?
Okay, yeah. So what's valuable in the footage?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that based on the the political topography that you're currently looking at, trying to be like, the cops are bad, they're trying to just shoot people, no one will buy that, right? That'll just people really want to believe that the cops are the good guys. You're not going to be able to spin this story as like insane cops try to kill random people. It's got to be like, if you do anything, the cops have to be painted as like good-hearted, but maybe they made a mistake, or like they were trying really hard and somebody else fucked things up for them. Yeah, I would go with the like footage you have of them, like the audio you have of them chanting and the weird eye glowing, and be like, they were possessed, but people will immediately be like, obviously they were possessed by supervillains. So, you know, it's a tense situation.
That makes it really hard, because anything that even if I like try and paint it on the armored car, you know, if that's linked to superheroes, then it doesn't really help us. So I don't really know. I mean, I can use something that would take the blame off of Riley, but not off superheroes.
Yeah, you'd want to cut it in a way that you could protect Riley, but you can't protect like non-humans or whatever, superhumans as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll cut it in a way that shows that, you know, we were trying to help against the influences of like villainous.
Exactly. We're the good kind of superhero, not the bad kind that makes people.
And so like if you tried to pressure us to leave because we don't want to register, then it could actually end up really hurting you. You know, like these are cops walking around with like shotguns in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then for my other question, I'm going to ask, let me see. What's the best way in / way past? I mean, I guess I kind of already got the answer for that one.
Yeah.
How could I best infuriate or provoke?
Who are you trying to infuriate or provoke?
Well, it's more like, how could Riley provoke the cops into a positive reaction? Does that work?
Yeah, that's not how the delinquent works. The delinquent is all pissing people off.
I didn't think so. Okay. We have the cops here. We have Riley here. I guess I'll just ask what is useful or valuable to me, and then just get a confirmation.
Sure. I guess the counter question here is, how valuable is Hemlock's secret identity to you? Because you can try to like nip it in the bud now, but there's already pictures like spreading out on the internet of Hemlock getting shot with a shotgun and the shield up, and Riley, Hemlock reaching down to pull Riley up out of the crater. And people are like, you know, they recognize Riley Rampage. They've seen her before, but they're like, who's this girl? Like, who's this new superhero? And people are like, oh, I think I go to school with her. And like, that's starting to spread.
Oh, damn.
Okay. So I blur out their faces then in the footage. And then maybe that'll help slightly.
Expensive. So you're going to try to protect Hemlock's secret identity. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So Riley, an emoji face over her.
Riley,
what's my identity? Because people know who I am.
Riley, what do you?
I'll put the tears one over you.
So what do you do? The cops, actually more police officers, like, you know, Halcyon City PD don't show up right away. The first people to show up they look like and actually maybe this triggers some stuff for you, because a bunch of like black vans, like three like black vans pull up, one down either side of the road and one pulls out of an alley. And from each of them, 4 like paramilitary looking dudes jump out. They all have like black kind of like SWAT gear, but they're not wearing badges. They don't have, you know, HCPD on them anywhere. And they all have like weird looking like rifles. Like they're definitely not just like assault rifles. They're kind of like bigger and have like kind of a tank thing built underneath them. And they all get out and kind of like surround you and like point their weapons at you. From one of the vans, there's like a voice from the loudspeaker that's like, you know, stay where you are, metahuman. And they're like, you know, coming up and trying to get you to surrender. What do you do?
I mean, I don't have like weapons or anything. I'm just sitting on the cop car, so I don't really do anything. I just stay seated like on the cop car. They're not like, are they trying to like apprehend me, or are they just like pointing their gun?
I mean, they want you to like, you know, get down on the ground with your hands behind your head, like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They understand you are the weapon.
Oh, okay. So I'm just like the people you should be pointing your guns at are over there, and I like point at the cops like on the ground.
Okay.
I look at the script I sent her, and the script I gave her was anything but blaming it on the cops. Anything but.
I'm blaming.
Underline.
I'm just saying that they're the ones who are currently posing a threat.
Okay.
I mean, it's
So-
true.
These guys, they approach you, and I think one of them like reaches behind. He pulls out a like a set of. They look kind of like handcuffs, but yeah, they're made out of some like strange like matte black material, like shackles. And he's like coming up to you to like put them on. Get your hands behind your back.
Okay. So at this point now, I like stand up and I'm just like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Okay. All right.
Oh God.
So is this a like you're gonna stand up and punch the guy thing, or is this a, like?
I mean, I'm standing up in like, I went from seated to standing up, and I'm standing on top of the cop car now. So like, he can't easily reach me. He'd have to like climb up on top of the cop car to like put these handcuffs on me.
Yeah.
Can I interfere yet?
Yeah. So Hemlock, you well, let's. I want to see one more thing with Riley here. So,
Okay.
how far are you willing to go with this? So, like about a dozen or more guys, like point. There's about a dozen guys, like pointing these weird, like alien-looking weapons at you, and you're standing on the back of the car. You've got up, and it looks like you're making the obvious, like I'm not gonna surrender pose here. What's the plan? What's your next thing? Because they're gonna escalate, and then you're gonna escalate, and you can kind of see where this is gonna go.
Right. And the cops aren't here yet, like the actual cops.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was all prepared to like give a speech and be like, we're good people, and now there's these bad guys.
I mean, you have a moment if you want to assess the situation, if you think that you would stop and like take a look around.
No, I don't feel like Riley would do that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. She's like, I mean, I'm watching this guy like walk toward me with the handcuffs or whatever, and I'm just.
Yeah,
like,
he's got like a pistol in one hand and the handcuffs in the other, and he's like walking up to you like.
But you said
"Hey,
they're
this-
weird alien guns, so like they might
Yeah.
actually do damage to me because I don't know what kind of guns they are.
I think no, you know what? I think we get a flashback panel. We get like, there's this moment where you're looking at the gun, there's the close up of your face, there's the gun, and then the next page is like obviously like flashback, the color tone is different. Maybe we see like a kid version of Riley, and it's like you and a bunch of other kids. And maybe you're like in a it looks like a prison, right? You're wearing like gray like coveralls, and you're out in a cold looking like prison yard. And Riley has you have this other kid, this boy, like on his face. You have your knee on the back of his neck, and you look up and you can see your I don't know, maybe you don't know his name. His name's probably like Mr. White or something. You don't know his real name.
Yeah.
But it's this like older dude. He's wearing a gray suit, and he's got a tablet, and he's making notes like he's just been watching you fight. And standing next to him is a guy dressed exactly like one of these guards.
Okay.
Same weapon, same everything. So we get that like flashback panel,
Okay.
and then we cut back to you. And there's definitely some connection between these guys and the like shadowy organization that tried to like control before.
Yeah, I'm not going back there. So what happens if I have a label that's maxed out and one of my abilities is to shift that label up? What will happen? Because I can't go above.
Yes, if it goes from 3 up, it actually drops to 2, and you take a condition. You don't want to bump your labels up from here.
Okay, but will the action still be performed with the 3, or will it go to 2 and then the action is performed?
If you're looking at punch everyone, you can shift your danger up. It says you don't have. It doesn't say you have to.
Oh, you can shift it up. Just
It doesn't say you have to shift your danger.
Okay. Well, I mean, if he makes a move to like reach out at me,
Definitely.
is there a way? Can I do like assess the situation to see if there's a way that I can like diffuse this? Because
Yes.
if he tries to put that on me, I'm gonna punch everything. So
Yep.
I'd
So
rather not
in
do
the
that.
moment where you realize that, you cast your eyes around, you look, it's a bunch of these
Like,
guys.
they're not
with
listening
guns.
to me. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead and attempt to assess the situation. And Lex, do you have any influence over Riley?
No, I think she's the only one that I'm missing, right?
Okay. All right.
I think
So
the
two of
only
you.
person who does is Hemlock.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
'cause you changed it.
Good.
Okay, but now I have full potential.
Yeah. So once you get to your full potential, you'll be able to. I think you get to clear it, and you get to unlock some stuff.
Yeah.
So let me check how that works because we haven't had anybody reach it yet.
Okay, so I'll clear it out.
It's basically leveling up.
Yeah,
But
we
you did
advancement.
fail. So
I wanna
you get to advance.
I want a Riley Rampage shopping montage.
Yeah. So what? Do you know what? Do you know what advance you want to take?
Oh, okay. I can take move. I can add another move.
Yep. Yeah.
From
you
my
can
playbook or from someone else's. That's cool.
Yeah, this is where we start to expand. The one that might be a little bit different for folks kind of unused to this is unlocking your moment of truth. Let me just read the bull's moment of truth for you because you could unlock it and use it right away.
Okay.
This is what you do best. You let loose all the pent-up strength and rage and glee, and you break whatever stands in your way. You're a walking demolition crew. What can stand up to you? Nothing. Not buildings, not structures, not enemies, nothing. Of course, now the people who changed you know exactly where to find you. But if you unlock your moment of truth, you get to use it, and then just like flip out and just like destroy everything. Basically, you seize control of the narrative and just describe yourself doing your moment of truth. Now that's an option. You can unlock it and then hang on to it. You can unlock it and use it now. Whatever you want. I'll let you think that over. You still miss. Things are going to get worse. But yeah, let's cut back up to Hemlock. So Hemlock, you're able to get away from your mom.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
I'm gonna see that she's, because they're all pointing their guns at her, right? She's standing on this overturned top car or cop car.
Yeah, where are you watching this from? Like, do you go into your room where Lex is?
I'm on the balcony, like overlooking the street, like where she is, like where she jumped down before. And they all have her, like their rifles at her, pointed at her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she's surrounded, and they have these weird guns.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like real quick change into, let's take my hoodie off and get superheroed up, right? And then out of like just fear, because she's got all, I can kind of hear what's happening, right? And all I hear is like her defying them, being like, oh hell no, but they're not gonna give up, right? So I'm gonna test out and jump superhero style next to her, like at least so she's, because if they shoot their guns, I can try to at least protect her that way, right? If they shoot her guns, she's just fucked. So I'm gonna jump down next to her on top of the cop car in superhero form.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So Riley, you have, and I think maybe did you decide what you want to take for your advance?
So the moment of truth thing is just a one-time use, and then I'd have to fill my potential to do it again.
Yes. Yeah.
You can save it, right? You don't have to use it right now.
Yeah, you can unlock it and then hang on to it, but it's like, you use it and then you recharge it and you can keep rebuying it. I'm
gonna unlock it right now.
Okay.
So
right.
Moment of truth.
Okay. So there's this moment where what is it that causes you not to, actually, you know what, I'm gonna put a condition on you, Riley. So when you see these guys approaching, you try to assess the situation. But I'm gonna make you afraid. I think that being confronted by these soldiers from your past, you feel that fear of a child, the fear that they tried to beat out of you as a youth, like welling up in you, and that's maybe why you don't react right away. And when it looks like you're gonna like hesitate, you're not getting down. Someone on the team, like we see a guy like put his hand to his helmet and he gives the order, like, take her down. And we hear the whine of the like energy weapons like start to charge up, and then there's a bright flash for you. You just see like bright green flash, and maybe you think like, oh cool, I'm about to get like lasered to death. And then in the next panel we see Hemlock standing in front of you, hands out, the blue shield getting just pummeled by, and it's a dome, I guess. You're getting shot at from all angles. Hemlock, can you take the blow for your friend Riley here?
100%, I will.
Okay. All right. So
I need to mark a condition though, right?
It sounds to me, first of all, that you're committing yourself to save someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that. Okay. So yes, mark a condition. What's your condition?
Guilty.
What emotion drives you to save Riley in this moment?
Guilty for sure. She pinged me. She said, I thought we were your family. Dude, that hurts.
That's awesome. So after spending time with your actual mom, you're like, no, Riley, I have to save my sister, Riley. You're like, yeah, you're feeling it. And so this is motivated by your guilt.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you'll take a +1 to this roll to protect her.
Okay.
You'll also get this +1 in any situation where you're protecting her from these people. So if you need to like talk them down or assess or anything, as long as you're trying to protect her, you get to mark that. So now now take the. I think actually you're defending. You're not taking the blow. So defend someone or something from an immediate threat. Roll plus savior.
Okay. And I add a +1, right?
Yeah, you're
the condition. Okay.
You had one from the game face, but also remember you're rolling mundane instead of savior because you have your mask on.
Oh, I'm rolling mundane.
Yes, you're at plus. You're at +3 for this.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. So on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. So do you take influence over Riley? Do you clear your guilty conscience, or do you want to add a team point to the pool?
I'm gonna clear my guilty conscience.
So that's all it takes is just like, I use my laser barrier. Now I feel better.
I mean, I think she's gonna prove that I didn't abandon her. Like
Right.
in my mind, I would be like, I just saved you. Like clearly, I care about you. I didn't just leave.
Yeah, like she came back.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna look at her really melodramatically and be like, "Oh, Hana means family." It's just like throw that shield up. Nobody gets left behind. Just
Oh God.
goes up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So so that happens. There's this initial like burst, and now you've got this like energy dome around you. They stop firing. They realize they're not going to be able to like fire through it. And this is when like the actual cops like show up. So an actual like a police car shows up, and like a detective gets out, and the cop actually, instead of being like get those super bad guys, immediately goes over to one of the guys in the black armor and starts like shouting at him like, like how dare you? This is our jurisdiction. You're not real police. And they start like getting into a thing because this cop is like, these guys showed up early and had this response, and the rest of them kind of stand down. Like they don't have their weapons pointed at you anymore. They're on orders to like keep an eye on you and not let you like fly away. But the situation diffuses slightly when this detective shows up. And Lex, what are you've got like a heads up on all of this. What are you doing during this period?
I mean, can I create like an anti-gun gadget? Something that jams all the guns?
Mm-hmm.
I can? Okay, I'm working on that.
You're a fucking superhero.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you have super hacking. You can totally do that. Okay, cool. So I guess the question is, do you want them to notice? Like, is this a like all their guns go like and like turn off? Or is it that they just won't fire when they go to shoot, but they look and feel like normal?
Yeah, definitely the second one, so they're not alerted to it, and it gives us more time to, I don't know, to like figure out what we're gonna do in this situation.
Okay, sure. So go ahead and roll your power there.
So what do I roll for my power?
You're gonna roll to unleash your powers.
Okay, what do I add?
It should just be whatever your freak is.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can add one. Got an 8. Okay. All right. So yeah, you can't like learn anything really significant about the weapons or anything like that, but you definitely can like diffuse them for now. They won't get to fire them again. And I think with the cop coming over and like all of this stuff happening, Hemlock showing up, the situation like gets diffused, right? Like Hemlock, do you take over? Are you like, I'll talk to the police?
Yeah, I will take over and talk to the police.
All right. So what do you tell them? What's the story that they get?
So we go over and we explain to them that we were attempting to try to stop the police officers over there who like clearly are not acting in their right mind after trying to shoot an innocent young girl, right? That was trying to help the situation and, unprovoked attacked the people in this armored car. And so we were just simply trying to diffuse the situation and keep them apart so that until the police got there, they could, take over and like, look, we didn't hurt anybody. We didn't, we weren't aiming to hurt anyone. We were just simply trying to prevent, potential catastrophe and innocent people from being hurt. And so that's what we did. And even when the guys had our guns pointed, we didn't hurt them at all. We just protected ourselves until the cops were able to get there and kind of like play to their needing to control the situation and not trying to come in with the superhero complex of like, we saved the day. It's
Right.
we were just stopping everything till you could get here. And
Well,
now
because it comes to the victims in this situation. Like
Right.
someone is taking advantage of them.
right.
Sure. Yeah. So, we don't see all of this stuff, but the cops take statements from everybody that was there. They believe you. The black van guys, like they leave. And then you diffuse the situation for now, but you're definitely like on the radar of the black van guys and of the cops. But I think the cop that you talked to, you notice that like on his like lapel while he's talking to you, on his lapel he's got a little like flag pin, and it's like a red flag with a little like gold like triangle, and it's usually like worn by people who are like in support of like metahuman causes. Like this guy probably has like a relative or like a family member who's like got weird powers,
Mhm.
and so he's like sympathetic, and he thanks you for not hurting the police, and that they'll handle it from here. So
My temptation is to like, as per teenage girls would in like an overly dramatic way, when he says like thank you, to just give him like a big hug and then run back over to Riley. Because like we don't get very many people who are nice to us.
Yeah.
Right. And so to see that someone was on our side would make me pretty emotional. Right. So I'm gonna give him like a big bear hug and then just kind of wave and then run over back to where Riley is.
yeah. So this situation like gets diffused, but I want to know where's the Petra? Where's the Fortress of Solitude? Where do we see you? Are you like sitting on top of like a really high building, or like where do you go when you want to be alone?
Yeah. Petra goes to a place where most people can't get to her. I mean, Riley could if she was charging up a building or something. I don't know, like Hulk style. But I wouldn't have necessarily left the neighborhood, but I would have wanted to make sure that none of them could see me. So I'd probably be on some high business building, somewhere in like the general vicinity. And I could kind of tell that like Riley was in trouble, like that there was like she was feeling tense. I could feel the tension, but I couldn't really tell what was going on because again, like I'm really not super confident, especially feeling insecure because that's one of my conditions right now. I'm not super confident with knowing what it is. What does it mean? So I kind of bite the bullet and I decide to go back, even though I'm still feeling angry. I'm still feeling insecure. And I feel like I have no control over my team.
In that situation of being, and you can do it whatever you want, but in that situation of being like angry and insecure, do you think you would go to them, or would you do that thing where you're like, well, if they're really my friends, they're like, come find me, like, because going like I think going back and being like,
I think she would go to them.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, because like you want to remain like positive when you're thinking about your team, even in the worst case situations. And that's what's got her through this far, from the time that, she did become on her own and lost her parents and lost her sister and found Riley. Like it was only ever having hope and deciding to just kind of like, try to be positive even when you're feeling angry is the only thing that can get you through and get you to that next like moment where you at least don't have to worry about it. So she goes back, but she's still seething, completely seething underneath the surface.
So this would be that the page where it's like, shots of you looking pensive and you're not like saying anything, but the text on the box is like, sometimes, you have to do what's right. And like, we get the big sort of inspiring, like, sometimes you fight with your friends, but you gotta make it better. And in the last panel, you're standing up to go, and you're up high, and we can see Halcyon City like kind of spread out before you, and we can see the bridge, the bridge that crosses the Halcyon Bay, and there's these like black storm clouds that have kind of like come in, and you turn to leave, and we can see like flashes of like green lightning in the storm cloud.
That's not normal.
And and I don't think I think you do notice it. Maybe that's the last panel, is like you turn to go, and then there's this like green cast on your face as you look, and we can see what looks like a meteor or a comet or something flying up from the city towards the bridge, this like streak of green light. And and that's kind of the last page of the issue. So let's take a break here, and we'll come back and conclude our arc when we return. And Riley, maybe you'll get to punch the Scion in the face. I'm holding out for you.
I hope so.
Or the clouds. Maybe you could
Punch the sky.
Punch everything. That's the point. All right. Cool. We got more roleplay masks coming at you when we return. Stick around.